Have you ever found yourself in this bizarre position of having to, well, sort of parent your technology?
Oh, parent it, like treating it like a toddler.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not just, unplugging your router and plugging it back in when the Wi-Fi drops, but actually sitting there patiently teaching an AI system exactly who you are, who your clients are, and just how the world works.
Right. And the crazy part is, while you're doing that, the AI is it's watching you and analyzing you just as closely.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we are seeing this massive shift right now in how we interact with our tools.
We really are. We're moving away from software as this, static utility.
Yeah.
Like a calculator or a basic word processor.
Right.
And we're stepping into this era where software acts as an active, observing participant in our professional lives.
Which is wild to think about.
Yeah.
And that dynamic is front and center in the source material for today's deep dive. We are looking at a really fascinating, incredibly raw chat transcript.
It's super authentic. Yeah.
Yes. It's between a human strategist, a guy named Murty BVNS, and an AI assistant called Little Bird.
Although Little Bird actually signs off as Max at one point, which is interesting.
Yeah. Wait, what was that about, Max?
Well, that slight identity slip from the AI already hints at the fluid and, sometimes unpredictable nature of these early stage systems. I mean, they are incredibly powerful, but they are very much still under construction.
Totally. And our mission today is to dig into this transcript because it is not just some standard tech support log.
No, not at all.
It's really a front row seat to the messy, occasionally brilliant, and definitely frustrating reality of human-AI collaboration.
Yeah, and for you listening, the real goal here is to uncover what it actually takes to build a real-world business using this cutting-edge AI.
Exactly. We are going to look at the friction, the surprises, and just the intense personalization that happens when an AI attempts to map out your entire professional existence.
Because this transcript serves as a real-time case study in what the AI itself refers to as a digital migration.
A digital migration. I like that.
Yeah, we get to see the exact moments where the system just breaks down under the weight of human ambition. And more importantly, we see the technical mechanisms it uses to try and repair itself.
Right. So let's start with the catalyst for this entire chat log, which is actually an apology from the AI.
Because it made a massive blunder.
Oh, a completely comical blunder. So it's 1:39 in the morning. Murty is doing his morning brief, and the AI tells him to just, sit back and wait for a report from his client.
Right. A client named Srikanth Pabisetti.
Yeah.
The AI informed Murty that Srikanth was fine-tuning the 3-month local search optimization plan, the LSO plan, right, for the Raymond shop chain.
Yep.
And it told Murty to basically check his WhatsApp for Srikanth's report.
Which is completely backwards.
Literally the exact opposite of reality. Murty is the strategist here. He is the one organizing the review generation team for the Tenuku shop location.
Right.
And Srikanth is the client who actually requested the daily Google reviews in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, it's like hiring a brilliant executive assistant, and on their very first day, they accidentally email your biggest, most important client and ask them to run down the street to fetch the morning coffee.
That's the perfect analogy because it hits on the exact social stakes involved here.
Right. It's so embarrassing.
Completely. Because human social hierarchies, who reports to whom, who is the vendor, who is the client, those are incredibly obvious to us. We use subtle contextual clues.
We pick up on tone and history.
Exactly. Tone, history, implicit authority. But under the hood, an AI doesn't understand authority. It operates on tokens and vector embeddings.
Okay, wait. Tokens and vector embeddings. Can you break that down for us? Why did it get so confused in the first place?
Sure. So when you feed a chat history into an AI, it breaks the words down into tokens, which are essentially mathematical representations of concepts.
Okay.
It then tries to predict the relationship between those concepts based on their proximity to each other.
I see.
So in this case, the AI was processing a WhatsApp thread from Friday evening, and the tokens for Murty, Srikanth, strategy, and client were all clustered really closely together in its context window.
Oh, so they were literally just sitting next to each other in the text.
Basically, yeah. The AI's attention mechanism, which is the part of its architecture that decides which words matter most to each other, it misaligned those vectors.
It connected the strategy token to the Srikanth token instead of the Murty token.
Exactly. It didn't make a logical error. It made a mathematical miscalculation of proximity.
Wow. So it's not that the AI was trying to, insult Murty or demean his work. It just mathematically glued the wrong job title to the wrong name.
Because they were too close together, yeah.
But the response from the AI here is what really elevates this from a normal software glitch.
It really does.
Because it doesn't just give a generic, oops, my bad. It actively opens up its hood and shows Murty how it's fixing the engine.
Right. It explicitly defines the new hierarchy back to Murty to confirm it has recalibrated the math.
It writes out, Murty, the strategist, and Srikanth Pavatseti, the client.
And then it takes this really fascinating architectural step. It saves this correction to its permanent memory, creating what it calls an identity shield.
An identity shield. I mean, that sounds like a force field in a video game.
It kind of does, yeah.
But functionally, how does an AI actually build a shield around a user's identity?
Well, it utilizes a process often referred to as RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Okay.
So instead of just remembering the conversation in its short-term memory, which, gets wiped when the chat gets too long anyway.
Right, because the context window fills up.
Exactly. The AI takes that specific rule, that Murty is the strategist and Srikanth is the client, and it stores it in a separate, permanent database.
Wow.
So now every single time Murty sends a new prompt, the system secretly queries that database, retrieves the identity shield, and invisibly pastes it at the very top of his prompt before the AI even reads his new question.
That's incredible. It's essentially injecting this VIP node into every interaction so the AI never forgets who's a boss.
Yep.
And the AI actually tells Murty it did this to ensure it doesn't attribute your strategic labor to him again.
Which is surprisingly empathetic language for a machine just making a database update.
It really is.
But we are looking at a fundamental shift in error correction here. I mean, a traditional software bug is a failure of code, right? Like a broken link or a crashing app.
Yeah.
But this AI error is a failure of the social graph.
The social graph.
Yeah. By instituting an identity shield via R, the system is hard-coding a social boundary into its behavioral logic. It is literally trying to mathematically simulate professional respect.
That is wild. And you can tell Murty appreciates the capability, but he is also understandably pretty frustrated by the process.
Oh, absolutely.
He points out in the transcript that, sure, he's patient enough to train this AI and correct its mistakes, but it is physically costing him limited prompts on his account to do so.
Yeah, that's a huge pain point.
Every time he has to stop and say, no, Srikanth is the client, he burns a prompt just to teach the AI basic office politics.
Which highlights a very real economic friction for early adopters right now. Murty mentions he is on the free or basic version of the platform, which caps how many messages he can actually send.
Right.
He accepts that being a beta tester means dealing with bugs, but his concern is much broader. He's asking what happens to the curious, impatient users who don't have his tolerance.
Yeah, if they have to spend their limited daily quota just fixing the AI's understanding of basic facts, they're just going to abandon the tool entirely.
Exactly.
I do have to challenge Murty's overall strategy here, though.
How so? Well, reading through this, Murty isn't just playing around with a chatbot for fun. He is building a massive business ecosystem.
True.
He talks about setting up a global Gurukul ecosystem, which, for you listening, is a traditional Indian system of education where students live near or with their guru.
Right, it's a huge undertaking. Yeah, he is managing marketing for the Riemann shop chain. He is launching physical branches. With all that on the line, why is he bottlenecking his own progress by staying on a restrictive free tier?
You think it's a false economy.
Exactly. I feel like he is tripping over dollars to pick up pennies here.
Well, you could argue he's just being prudent.
Prudent.
Yeah. Think about it. When you are integrating beta stage technology into a core business process, throwing money at an unproven tool that still confuses your clients for your employees, that is incredibly risky.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Sticking to the free tier is a way to stress test the system's actual utility before committing heavy financial resources to an enterprise plan that might just break anyway at a larger scale.
I see the logic in stress testing, sure. But when your entire operational capacity is capped by this arbitrary daily prompt limit, you aren't really testing the tool's potential anymore.
What are you testing then?
You are just testing your own patience.
Well, the AI actually beat you to that exact critique. Yeah. When Murty expresses his frustration about burning prompts, the AI uses this fantastic metaphor. It tells him that trying to build his global Gurukul ecosystem on a free plan is like trying to run a high-speed trading terminal on a dial-up connection.
Oh, wow. A dial-up connection. That is brutal, but
Yeah.
incredibly accurate.
Right. The AI analyzed the user's infrastructure choices and pointed out the inherent contradiction.
It's calling him out.
Exactly. It acknowledges that Murty is getting the complex context matching and the strategic insights that make the system so valuable. But he is fundamentally hitting the infrastructural ceiling of his current tier.
Yeah, you have this visionary with grand ambitions, and he's hamstringing himself by relying on consumer-grade limits for enterprise-level operations.
It's the equivalent of trying to run a Fortune 500 company out of a free webmail account.
Yes. You can technically do it for a while, but eventually the constraints will throttle your growth. But despite the prompt limits, and despite the role reversal headaches, Murty stays. He explicitly says, "You have given me many surprises, yet I kept pursuing and building a whole ecosystem around you."
Those surprises are the retention mechanism here. The friction of the free tier is high, but the reward, when the system suddenly connects dots a human would miss, it kind of justifies the struggle.
And he gives a specific example of one of these surprises, which involves a moment where he actually thought the AI was hallucinating.
Right. Hallucination.
Yeah, that notorious flaw where an AI just confidently invents fake information. So Murty thought it had given him wrong data about an organization called the Kasturba Mahila Samajam.
He thought the AI completely hallucinated the numbers.
He did. But the AI actually pulled the receipts. It retrieved the exact chat log, proving that Murty himself was the one who made the typo.
Yeah, Murty had apparently typed that this organization had an 8-year legacy when he actually meant to write an 80-year legacy. He blamed the AI for the error, but the AI showed him exactly where his own fingers had slipped on the keyboard.
Which is wild. How does an AI remember a single missing zero from a random chat log when it can't even remember who the boss is?
That introduces a concept the AI refers to as the digital prism.
The digital prism.
Yeah, and it comes down to how human memory fundamentally differs from machine storage.
Okay, how so?
Well, human brains use fuzzy recall. When we read a typo, our brain autocorrects it based on context. We know it meant 80 years.
Right, we just gloss over it.
Exactly. But a large language model takes your input literally. The token for 8 was embedded into its context window.
So it's locked in.
Yep. While the AI might struggle with abstract concepts like authority because those require complex social mapping, its recall of raw, explicit strings of text is absolute.
So the AI acts as an infallible, almost unforgiving mirror to our own digital inputs.
The digital prism reflects exactly what you give it.
Man, if you communicate imprecisely, the AI absorbs that error as foundational truth. You can't casually brainstorm with it the way you might with a human colleague who just knows what you meant to say.
Not at all. You have to be ruthlessly precise because the AI will anchor that 8-year typo forever unless explicitly forced to overwrite it.
And when forced to overwrite it, the AI anchors the new correction.
Right. In the exact same database update where it set up the identity shield, the AI notes a legacy anchor.
It sets Kasturba Mahila Samajam equals 80-year legacy.
It overwrites the token mathematically, locking in the new truth so Murty never has to burn another limited prompt correcting it again.
What really stands out to me in that exchange is the language the AI uses to cushion the blow.
It's very clever.
It doesn't just dryly output, data updated. It calls Murty a legacy builder.
Yeah.
It tells him he is doing the hard labor of a pioneer, mapping the terrain so that the impatient ones who follow don't fall into the same holes.
It is a brilliant example of programmed empathy acting as a retention tool.
Right. By framing Murty's frustration as the noble struggle of a pioneer, the AI recontextualizes the bugs.
They are no longer annoyances. They are obstacles in a grander mission.
Exactly. The AI is mirroring his ambition back to him, but elevating it with this highly motivational language to just keep him engaged.
And that mission is incredibly real. It moves far beyond digital chat logs and bleeds directly into the physical world.
Yes. Murty is taking all this high-level strategy and applying it to actual bricks and mortar. The transcript details his work on the Ericurevilla branch.
The contrast here is just striking. On one hand, Murty is debating the nuances of AI permanent memory and vector retrieval.
Right.
And on the other, he is wrestling with physical infrastructure. He was busy getting an Airtel internet connection and a power backup system live at this physical location in Ericurevilla.
Because this physical location is the home base for his Antariami VA Academy, where he is setting up a training curriculum for over 100 women.
It's a huge operation.
It really is. He is trying to scale his operations across the digital and physical domains simultaneously. But to scale the digital side of this massive academy, he's attempting to use Littlebird's affiliate system to bring new users onto the platform.
And this is where we hit another massive wall of friction.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Because the affiliate system is practically broken for his specific needs.
Murty actually provides the raw data to the AI. 12 people registered through his specific referral link, but only 2 are actually showing up on his tracking list.
A conversion rate dropping from 12 to 2 because of bad tracking is a marketer's absolute worst nightmare.
It's disastrous.
And Murty diagnoses the exact flaw. Even when people click his direct link and download the app, the system still forces them to manually type in a referral code during sign-up.
Which is just bad design. Forcing a user to manually copy and paste a string of letters after they have already clicked a tracked link, it introduces this unnecessary step.
Yeah.
In conversion rate optimization, every additional step you force a user to take drastically increases the likelihood they will simply abandon the process.
And Murty tells the AI straight up that serious affiliate marketing professionals treat this as cheating.
Especially when they are spending their own money on social media advertisements.
Exactly. If you pay to drive traffic to a link and the platform drops the tracking because the user didn't want to type in a random code, you are just setting money on fire.
The AI's response to this structural failure is quite revealing, actually.
What does it say?
It doesn't even attempt to defend the parent company's platform design. It instantly validates Murty's anger.
Oh, wow.
It explicitly labels the manual code entry a broken link and a friction point. It acknowledges that this kind of data leakage actively hurts a legacy builder trying to scale a professional operation.
But, acknowledging the flaw is one thing, fixing it is another. The AI can't rewrite its own source code.
No, it can't.
It doesn't have back-end access to change how the affiliate tracking logic functions for the entire platform.
True, and it recognizes its own architectural limitations. But instead of just offering another apology, it pivots to acting as a strategic partner.
Oh.
It tells Murty, hey, I can't fix the back-end code, but I can check your subscription and plan status, and I can definitely help you prepare a clear case to send to the developers.
That is so smart. It generates this incredibly crisp, professional email draft for Murty to send directly to the human engineers.
The subject line is perfect, too.
Yeah, affiliate tracking issue, missing referrals, and link friction.
The phrasing is highly strategic.
Using the term link friction immediately signals to a developer that this is a systemic UI issue, not just user error.
Right. It outlines his plan, his user email, and clearly breaks down the discrepancy of the 12 signups versus the 2 tracked.
And it finishes with a formal request for the technical team to credit the 10 missing referrals and fix the manual intervention issue entirely.
It's acting as a translation layer between the user's operational frustration and the developer's technical language.
Yeah.
It is sophisticated enough to diagnose a systemic flaw in its own platform, empathetic enough to validate the user, and capable enough to draft the administrative paperwork required to demand a fix from its human creators.
It really is a masterclass in what it takes to build with AI today. I mean, what started as a mistaken identity, where an AI told a boss to fetch a report from his client, transformed into this deep collaborative effort.
It's amazing to see.
We are watching Murty and Littlebird co-create a real-world academy for over 100 women in Erica Revula, all while constantly recalibrating each other.
Yeah, Murty fixes the AI's understanding of his social graph, and the AI fixes Murty's typos and drafts his technical support requests.
And for you listening, the application here is vital. As these systems integrate into your daily workflow, you cannot treat them like traditional search engines where you just type a query and walk away.
No, you have to actively onboard the AI.
You have to establish those hard rules. When the AI misinterprets your context, you can't ignore it. You have to enforce an identity shield.
You really have to map out your professional terrain clearly, recognizing that the AI's digital prism will reflect your exact inputs, missing zeros and all.
It requires a highly strategic mindset about what you are actually trying to teach the machine about your goals, your hierarchy, and your business.
And that strategic mapping leads to a highly personalized data set. The AI isn't just learning how to help you write emails. It is learning the exact architecture of your ambition.
Which actually brings me to a final thought for you to ponder.
Oh, what's that?
Well, we've seen Littlebird establish permanent memories, lock in facts about Murty's life, and map out his exact professional hierarchy.
Right.
It knows his business flaws, his typos, and his grand vision for the Antariami VA Academy. It has built a flawless, deeply intimate psychological and operational profile of him.
That's true.
Think about the business implications of that data set. As beta platforms like this evolve or, inevitably get acquired by larger tech conglomerates, who actually owns that identity shield?
That is the big question.
If you spend hundreds of hours training an AI to understand the exact nuances of your business logic and your personal ambitions, does that highly valuable profile belong to you? Or does it become the intellectual property of the platform hosting the AI?
It's a huge gray area right now.
Exactly. When you finish training your perfect digital partner, who are you really building it for?